I've got great news, a victory that you made happen. Do you remember just before Christmas when some fat cat Toronto bankster named Richard Nesbitt mocked unemployed Albertans? He was hosting a panel of economists in Toronto, and he said unemployment in Canada is going great. But then another economist reminded him and said, well, not in Alberta, it's not. So this buffoon, this fat cat bankster, Richard Nesbitt, he laughed and said, who cares? It's just Alberta, remember?
If we got below 10%, we thought we were doing just great here in Canada in terms of unemployment. We're down in the sixes, right?
Yeah, we are
in Canada?
about 7%, but a lot of it is Alberta.
A lot of it's Alberta, so who cares about them, right?
Oh, and then he said he wanted the video edited to hide his boorish comments.
A lot of it's Alberta, so who cares about them, right? We'll have to edit that out of the video.
Well, what can you do about a malicious bankster like that? I mean, he's a multimillionaire who literally boasts on his organization's website of how many homes he has. Who does that? Talk about small penis syndrome. He retired from the CIBC Bank where he was making more than $7 million a year. Major Liberal Party donor, of course. I guess there's only one thing he can't buy with all his money, and that's class. Anyways, what can we do about this guy? Now he runs this banking think tank called the Global Risk Institute. How are you going to touch a guy like that? Well, we looked through their membership roster, all fellow fat cats, including Liberal governments giving him cash. But there was one Western-based group that actually maybe cared about Albertans. It's a bank called Farm Credit Canada. Chairman's a former Canadian Alliance MP, actually. So you and I signed a petition to get Farm Credit Canada to quit their membership in Richard Nesbitt's banking club and punish him in the only way that he notices, taking away his membership fees, taking away his money. Well, we got more than 6,000 people to sign that petition in 1 week, right over the Christmas holidays. But we sent it in and nothing seemed to happen. I mean, sure, Nesbitt sent a private letter only to Farm Credit, saying he didn't really mean what he said. Yeah, right, you liar. But he refused to make that letter public, as in he didn't really feel the need to apologize to the 200,000 unemployed Albertans he had laughed at. But look at the news I have today. It's a letter I got through access to information from Farm Credit. They're a government agency subject to disclosure, and it's a letter sent by Farm Credit Canada to Nesbitt's Global Risk Institute on December 23rd by Gregory Wilner, the Vice President of Farm Credit Canada. And it says, I'm quoting here, "This is to advise that FCC, Farm Credit Canada, will not be renewing its membership with Global Risk Institute. We were considering this before the events this week, and while discussing these events, decided to formalize our decision. We thank you and Mr. Nesbitt for your letter of apology. We don't plan to respond to Mr. Levant's social media campaign, but we'll continue to monitor the situation. We will let you know if we decide to make any public statement," unquote. It worked. Your petition worked, even faster than we thought. Now, they kept their word. Farm Credit didn't tell me about this decision. I only found out about it now through an access to information request. And although they blacked out the amount of the membership fee in some parts of the documents, you can still see it in other parts. $30,000 a year. Can you believe it? Now, Richard Nesbitt mocked Alberta farmers, and his so-called apology was a secret note sent only to Farm Credit. The man has no public shame to this day. Oh well, he paid a $30,000 price for his joke per year. 30 grand a year this year, and next year, and next year. That gross fat cat probably cost himself $250,000 over this insult over the rest of his career. Now, that's not justice, but it's what a bankster might call a down payment on justice. And that's thanks to you and thousands of Canadians like you who signed our petition. We like fighting for unemployed Albertans even if no one else does. To see all of our videos, sign up by clicking on this page.